If you're an entrepreneur or sales professional and you're not using AI and automation, your business is already falling behind. Welcome to the Done by One podcast. My name is Danielle Damianov, where we break down how modern businesses are using AI and automation and systems to scale faster without working longer hours. On this show, I interview business owners, operators, and industry leaders who are actually implementing AI, not just talking about it. We cut through the hype and we focus on what works, what doesn't, and what you need to start doing now. Because the gap between businesses that automate and those that don't is getting wider every day. If you are ready to future-proof your business and stop doing everything manually, you are in the right place. So let's dive in. Hey everybody, it's Danielle Damianov, and I'm so excited to have Dan Brown here. He is the CEO of the Brown Mortgage Group, which is with Nexa Mortgage, and which he runs with his son, as well as one of the best coaches, does a daily huddle for everyone that's at Nexa, and it is with Impact Training. So he is a coach. Is it only loan officers, or do you coach other people as well?
I coach quite honestly, a lot of other entrepreneurs come to me because a lot of things that we do here as loan officers are very similar in other businesses, right?
Exactly, exactly. So we're going to get right into it today. We are going to talk about things that will help not only loan officers, because like you just said, I mean, a lot of times whether you're a loan officer, a realtor, a title agent, an insurance agent, a car salesman, we all have to do the same activities in our business, right? To be able to grow and scale. So I want to get into a little bit about what you're seeing is some of the biggest challenges, and we'll just talk about loan officers knowing it can be anybody, but what some of the biggest challenges they're facing in today's environment.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. How long do we have? That's a loaded question, right? All right. Can I be brutally honest?
100%.
Oh my gosh. I think right now, one of the biggest challenges, and there's a couple, but one of the biggest I'm seeing right now is absolutely overload of information and paralysis by analysis.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll get into, the CRM is a great example of that, but literally every day loan officers, and we'll talk about them mainly, but loan officers, they flip on, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and they're bombarded with 10 new advertisements within the first 10 minutes that are talking about some new AI tool that can do something X and Y. And so I think what I'm seeing is loan officers are so distracted. They're looking for the silver bullet and they're skipping over all the opportunity and the gold, which is just step back and do what you know that works and let's have conversations instead of looking at all the tools, AI and things of how to enhance that. They're looking at it like it's the silver bullet and shiny toy, and they're never actually implementing one or two things. They're moving on to the next two or three before they've even implemented. Are you seeing the same thing?
I see the same thing all the time. And what I think a lot of people don't understand is AI is there to help, um there to help grow and scale your business, help you buy back your time. But there are still the things that you need to be doing on a daily basis, which is having those human conversations with people, staying in front of your database. If you don't have a database, staying in front of, people on social media. What would you say the top, let's just say 3 to 5 things are that a loan officer should be doing if they are wanting to grow their business? Let's just say they're not in a situation where there's some people that are in a situation where they need to now have a team because they have so much business going in. But let's talk about the loan officer that doesn't have so much business coming in, and they want to increase their production.
Yeah, that's a great question. And you mentioned in the introduction that I run something every day called the Loan Officer Huddle. And we're at about 200 I'm going to say 270 episodes right now. And it's really interesting, Danielle, because in the huddle, I keep it really, I say simple, boring, and rudimentary. And what I mean by that, I talk about core behaviors every day. And so it ties into exactly what you're saying. And so in the huddle, we talk about some very basic things, activities that you need to do every day. You need to systematize and get your foundation set. Okay. So on Mondays, we work on calling your sphere of influence and your database. So for those that don't have a database, I tell them pick up that, and I call it the 500 pound, weight sitting on their desk, which is their telephone, right? Because everybody has contacts in there. So, and we're talking at the very core, we're talking somebody doesn't have money to advertise right now. They can't hire a virtual assistant. Quite honestly, they don't have enough business to even have a team. So starting with the people that they know in their database. And hopefully we'll talk about that because you have one of the best CRMs out there that can help people. But that's the first activity. Then we have
So
to have
let's talk. I just have a quick question for you there. What is the script that they're using? Because that's the biggest problem. It's not so much picking up the phone, it's that they don't know what to say.
Yeah. So one of the things, and I've taught even as a coach and before as a coach, when I had large sales teams, I would teach my people that, listen, there's a really easy script and it goes something like this. Hey, Danielle, Dave Brown, your mortgage guy, or Dave Brown, your friend, how you doing? What's going on? Oh, and you have that quick chit chat interaction, right? And if you don't know what to say, you can always fall back on this. Hey, the reason I'm calling today is there are some really crazy things going on in the economy and in the world. You've probably heard that on the news. It's hard not to, even if you don't watch TV or social media, right? And so I'm just calling everybody that's special to me just to reach out and share what's going on and how that really is impacting the financial markets and how it could impact you as a homeowner. And since you are a friend of mine, I just wanted you to have that information. Can we just have a quick conversation?
I love that.
Yeah.
And the other thing that and you can tell me what you think about this, but a lot of times, and I just spoke to a lady last week, and she doesn't leave a voicemail. And I said, why? You should leave a voicemail. People are busy, right? And then you can always follow up with if they don't answer, because a lot of times it's all about staying top of mind. So if
Yes.
they don't answer the phone, but you're still leaving a voice message, and then maybe even following up with a text, "Hey, it's Danielle. I just wanted to, check in with you. I'm sure you're busy. I sent you an email." So you can follow up with that email as well.
100%. And, now we have obviously technology here, the best video camera, unless you go spend thousands of dollars, follow that up with a quick 20-second video, right? Just a
Okay.
quick text video message. Hey, I just left you a message. Has some important information. And back to that script that I just shared with you, the cool thing about that is, and again, it's about being comfortable, but I tell people every time you call somebody 3 months from now, 6 months from now, right, in your database, you can literally say the same thing. Next year, next month, there's always something crazy going on in the world, in the economy, right? So it's just a good, easy conversation starter because typically people will go, "Oh God, it's crazy out there right now, isn't it?" And it has nothing to do with which administration is in or not. There's always turmoil in the world, and it's just an easy conversation starter. So that's kind of core bucket number one. You just need to reach out to the people that you know. Does everybody know what you do? Seems basic, but a lot of times it doesn't happen.
And I wanna also point out that you want to, if you're trying to build your database, you might have their phone number, but you might not have their email. So you always wanna end it up with, let's just say, you're talking to them, and you can say to them, "What is your email? I wanna share with you some information on what's going on with blah, blah, blah," whatever, it might be. Or, "I send a quarterly newsletter. What is your email?" So that way you're capturing their email address, so then you can be hitting them from all, angles. Okay, core number 2.
Core number two, we have to, as in people loan officers, have to understand you are in sales, right? At the end of the day, our product that we sell is money to help people get into a home. Unfortunately, we don't do something, and I use the term, money isn't like mortgages isn't sexy and fun. Like going and showing a house, right? Getting to go show a 4-bedroom home with 3.5 baths, a beautiful, pool area. That's kind of fun. When we're talking about money, it's kind of boring, right? So, we kind of have to break that down. But at the end of the day, we're selling money. All right. So we have to find a way to talk to more referral partners. And so the strategy that I am trying to help people right now with is because of the TCPA and the do not call laws that have changed, and they're pretty tight. I mean, $63,000 per fine is significant, can put you out of business. I've got actually a couple of coaching clients that have paid upwards to $100,000 in the last couple of years each because they got reported for calling somebody again, which ties into the database, having it scrubbed. But what I teach is let's use social media to be able to create a warm outreach and a warm audience. And so I use a technique called the Dream 100. And the Dream 100, I like to give credit where credit's due. Okay. Like Danielle Damianov, she has one of the best doggone CRMs in the world out there. But old Chet Holmes, a partner of Tony Robbins back in the day, started this thing called the Dream 100. Every coaching program in the world has it. And basically they're telling everybody just hit the phones, right? Call on the telephone. Because of the DNC list and the do not call and the TCPA, I'm telling people use social media, the same concept as the Dream 100. And then we use that to create a feeling of friendship. Okay.
Right.
Because before you and I ever talked, I met you through social media and started to get to know who you were a little bit through social and felt like I knew you. And so it's the same thing we can do with real estate agents. Now, you still have to do the one thing that is hard sometimes, and that is ask for some sort of an outcome, which is a meeting, right? And I hate to say, like the old let's meet for coffee. So I like to say, why don't we take this thing off social? We've been talking it up on social. And I kind of talk like this. Hey, we've been chatting it up on social, Danielle. Love some of the posts you've been making. Now you've been coming back over to my site, liking my stuff, commenting, right? We're becoming Instagram friends or we're becoming Facebook friends. So now I'm going to invite you to, hey, let's get together, Danielle, especially if we live local. Let's get together and do what I call content and connection, CC. We're not going to do coffee. We might grab a Starbucks while we're walking around, but we're going to get to know each other a little bit while we're walking around at a cool area, and we're going to shoot a video or two together
I love that.
while we're talking, getting to know each other. And when we leave that meeting, instead of just going and having coffee, Danielle, when we leave that meeting after an hour, we'll each have a couple pieces of content to put out on social media for our audiences to see. How does that sound? When can we get together?
I love that. That's awesome. So yeah,
Yeah,
and
there
a
you go.
lot of times you have to think about what's in it. There, you got to put yourself thinking what's in it for them, right? So a lot of times when you're dealing, because I've been in both real estate and mortgage since 2001, and when you're a busy realtor, the last thing you want to do is meet some random person for coffee, right? So you want to think about what's in it for them. So you're bringing that content piece. Let's talk a little bit about strategy to help people realize what they can do trying to, you know, establish these relationships on social media. For example, number one, requesting them, right? Number
Yes.
two, liking their content, right? Sharing, even if they have a great, let's just say you're going after realtors and they have a great property, sharing their content. What are some of the other things? The birthday list. I can't tell you. My birthday was 2 days ago, and I can't tell you how many random people that I literally don't even know sent me a video, a Facebook message. So you can go through and see the upcoming birthdays instead of just posting on their wall. Shoot them a personalized Facebook video, a personalized message. Hey, happy birthday. I hope you have a great day, right? And send it to them that way. You're staying now top of mind.
Yes, I love that. And by the way, happy birthday. I am on a 7 to 10 day social media fast right now while I'm working on my 2026 stuff. So I didn't see that it was your birthday. So happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Uh, but you're right. So here's the cool thing. Not only one, we used to have to go try to figure out what made people tick, what they really liked, right? What they did, where they hung out. Now we're able to, and I say this, we're able to social media stalk them to see all their likes, their interests, their passions. So now when I do show up for a meeting, if I get that opportunity, I should have done all my research, and it's not very hard. You just go look at their social media post for the last 30 days and see what's going on. But what you mentioned about sharing, a real estate agent loves it when you share if they have an open house, right? Sharing that because they understand that algorithm is getting them more exposure. I think I heard somebody recently say, we need to do more educating of real estate agents. And I thought, I don't think they don't really are. I don't think they're looking to us as loan officers to educate them. They're looking at us to be a partner,
Right.
to bring something different to the table. If we have some fun strategies, like just the other day, I was presenting to somebody how to use Gamma, right, to create presentations, and this real estate agent said, "Oh my gosh, do you realize this would have taken me 3 days, probably trying to put together something you just showed me how to do in like 12 minutes?" And I was like, pretty cool, right? Those are little ideas that I think we can bring versus, trying to, tell them that we're going to teach them. They don't want us to teach them how to quote sell or anything.
Yeah.
They're in their own lane. So I
Right.
think we have to find other ways to do that now.
Absolutely. Okay. Do we have a bucket number three?
We do. So
Okay.
bucket number 3, are you ready?
I'm
So
ready.
bucket number 3, I think is a hidden, I don't think, I know it is a hidden secret. Listing agents, right? Listing agents, when you have an opportunity, when you have a loan going, an actual loan in process, loan officers miss the boat. Everybody's using technology to do something, and I want to be clear on this. So many loan officers, not the top producers, they get it. They're still doing these foundational pieces, but other loan officers, and your original question was the ones that don't have a team, they're trying to figure out how to use technology and AI so that they don't have to talk to people. And it's such a mistake. So, as an example, on Wednesdays, in our huddle, we talk about on Wednesdays, that's loan status day. Seems basic, but if you do it and everything we're talking about, you have to do consistently. Do you calling both borrowers, calling both agents in the transaction? And I call it a moment of gratitude, the MOG. Okay. And that is when somebody says thank you, knowing what to say to them and accepting that acknowledgement instead of just saying, "Oh, no problem, Danielle. I know that I skipped my dinner last night for you, but it's okay. That's what I'm here for." Right. But instead saying, "Danielle, thanks so much for recognizing that we're really working hard for you." And it's an opportunity then to lean in and ask if they have any friends, family, coworkers. Right. But the other part of that is having a vetted list. You have an opportunity. You're interviewing with a listing agent for 30 days. Yeah, right? You might have to cold call, which I don't promote, or beg, borrow, or steal to try to get a listing agent to call you if you don't have a deal with them. But now you have 30 days in which to interact with them and their team to kind of show off how good you and your team are, right? But then not just to do that, but to call them and let them know I'm going to call every Wednesday. I'm going to give you an update, right? And when they say thank you, "Hey, thanks so much, Danielle, for recognizing this. It's a small part of what our team here does to help our agents that we work with be more successful, close on time, right? And make them look like absolute rock stars." And so through that process, I teach people then how to then ask for that meeting to be able to get in front of that listing agent. But the key is what most loan officers do, as you know, Danielle, they wait until closing or after closing, and the listing agents might say, "Hey, this is great. We ought to talk later." But once that deal closes, you're out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. Exactly. And one of the biggest, not complaints, I guess, that real estate agents have is communication. Not knowing what is going on with the clients, with the deals, and it's stressful, right? I mean, sometimes there's 2 or 3 closings all happening simultaneously that they're depending on. So, the communication part is key, and this is all going back to what we started talking about in the beginning. How do you grow your business with no money, right? Starting from 0, and really trying to take it to the next level. So, these are all of the activities that you need to be doing consistently And it takes time. People want like immediate response. This isn't going to be an immediate response thing, but it takes time, to do this. So what's the next bucket?
Yeah. So the next bucket and the final thing, and it seems simple, but loan officers have a real problem. And especially when they don't have a CRM or a tracking system, they don't follow up very well. Right? So they work really hard to get the leads in the door, to get those leads, maybe convert them into an application. But I am shocked. I shouldn't be shocked because I've done this long enough, but I am still surprised. Loan officers have pre-approved borrowers and they don't stay in touch with them.
Yes.
And they just think, well, when they find a house 30, 60 days down the road, they'll call me. So they do a pretty good job. And I hear it all the time with coaching clients that pay me money and they say, Dave, I'm going to pay you money to hold me accountable. And I'm like, to do like a really basic thing, like call your people back. Yeah, I need help having somebody, but Thursdays in the huddle, we promote that is calling all your pre approved borrowers. Loan officers typically do pretty good at that for about the first 30 to 60, maybe 90 days, but then they don't really have systems. They kind of fall off. And so if they don't turn into a transaction, an actual locked loan in the first 60 or 90 days, I just see a high percentage of loan officers. They're always going out and looking for new leads instead of taking care of what's in front of them. So I try to get them. So these are just the kind of the foundational things that I believe loan officers, if you just do the things we just got done talking about, you can close 3 to 4 loans a month right there. 3 to 4 loans. You're not having to go invest money doing other things. That's the core foundation. And if you can start to consistently close 3 to 4 loans a month, you can now have enough money to start investing into your business to start growing. But these are just the foundational things. But ironically, Danielle, you know this really well because you're a great coach as well. These are the things that top producers, they don't miss these things. Now,
Right.
they may not do them themselves because their team has gotten bigger, but these core activities that we just talked about, they never stop doing them. Just someone else on their team may do some of these activities, but they don't miss these opportunities because they understand this is the foundational part of their business.
Well, and two things I want to say. This is going to be a good sequence into what we're going to talk about with the CRM. But leads bring you leads. Lead follow up brings you money. And if you don't follow up with your leads, you're not going to have any money.
Yes, yes. Can I share a real quick story?
Sure.
So I had just recently, I run 6 week boot camps. And just recently, I had a graduate of one of the last boot camps. We were going over this exact topic. And when I had him go back, or everybody in the boot camp had to put all their data together for leads that they had gotten literally over the last like 30 to 45 days. This person on the call after doing this live spoke up and said, "Oh my God, I need to stop chasing new business. I have $167,000 of opportunities that are unconverted from the last 45 days. I need to just spend more time," right? The light bulb went off. Holy crap, $167,000 of opportunities, but yet he was continuing to run Facebook ads and all these other things, and it radically changed the way he was able to look at it. He's like, "I have to work on converting." His issue wasn't lead generation, it was a convert follow-up and conversion because he was spending too much time adding more into the funnel, right?
And
And so exactly what you're talking about.
that's what we do a lot of times. We're, so into the lead generation that we don't put the same amount of time into the lead follow up. And we have to remember it takes on average, right, 7 follow ups to convert. So if you're only following up one time, that's not good either. And that's what's going to take us into this next conversation about the CRN because the CRN follows up for you. So I'm not saying not to pick up the phone and follow up. You 100% need to be doing that. Where the CRM comes in as an added bonus. So if let's just say you aren't picking up the phone as much as you should be to follow up, the CRM is following up for you. So in Done by One, we have every Wednesday you're pre-approved and looking. When we move you into that bucket, let's just say, an automatic voicemail drop goes out, an automatic email goes out, and then every single Wednesday for the next 5 weeks is an email and a text message to the client. Hey, I'm just checking in to see how the home search is going. Let me know if you want us to run any numbers for you, blah, blah, blah. And two reasons we want to do that. Number one is we want to make sure that we're following up with our pre-approved and lookings. Because the last thing you want is to see on Facebook that they just purchased a home with another loan officer, right?
Yeah.
And then number two is that, following up with them every single week, we don't want them to go, we don't want them to go somewhere else. But number two, if you're not following up with them, at least the system is following up for you. And we all get those calls Friday night at 5 p.m. Hey, can you send me over a pre approval letter, or 6 p.m. on a Friday, right? So we do this on Wednesdays to hopefully mitigate the amount of calls we're getting on Friday at 5 for a pre-approval letter. We're already forward thinking for the weekend, which is usually when they go shopping. So my question to you, because I have, an awesome CRM. I have been using a CRM since, well, I'm going to share a quick story, actually, what happened. So I lived in Southwest Florida, sold real estate, used Top Producer. That was my CRM for real estate. Moved to Miami, did not know anybody, did not know how to get around. I built my real estate business in Miami by cold calling expired listings, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, 10 contacts an hour, 30 contacts a day. So that was how I built my business. Was it fun? No. Was I in Mike Ferry coaching and that's what he coached you on doing? Yes. And when you said Chat Holmes, well, Mike Ferry's got that Dream 100 list also, for your sphere and trying to figure out how to build your business with your sphere. But anyways, I left my database that I had from Southwest Florida. It didn't occur to me to keep it. I'm moving to Miami now. I'm going to live in Miami. I don't have any relation. Well, guess what happened 4 years later? I moved back to Southwest Florida and I no longer have a database. So at that point, I realized the importance of having a database, maintaining your database, and how many more leads I, could have had from that database. So I vowed to never not have a database. And your database should be living in a CRM, not an Excel spreadsheet. It should be in a CRM that is doing automations to keep you top of mind. So that's, how I I think because of that experience
Yes.
with the database is what made me realize you need 100% a CRM. But this is what I'm seeing people do. They want to grow and scale their business. They're frustrated because they don't have enough deals closing. Or maybe they do have a lot of deals closing, but they're on that sales roller coaster where they close a lot and it's crickets, and now they're scared they're going to be out of the business. And then, they do the activities that they're supposed to be doing. So they're back up here, but then they're not consistent with it. So their business looks like that. And I see so many people come onto the CRM. They're so excited with all of the powerful things that it can do with the email marketing, social media marketing, the follow-up, the this, the that. And 4 months into it, they're not even utilizing it. So what is your opinion on that? What is the disconnect, I guess?
Yes. I, boy, that's a whole episode, but I see it every day. And to expand on what you said, when I do a first discovery call with a prospective coaching client, and or if I were, if I'm looking to hire somebody, things like that, it's interesting. Here's what I hear all the time, and I'll be quick and then answer your question. They'll say, I've been in the business 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. There's always a story like what you just shared. And it typically is, well, I left an employer, went to another one, lost my database because I used theirs. And they'll have two or three experiences. Somebody in the business 20 years, very normal. They'll tell me, Coach, I only have names from like the last 5 years. I have about 200 names now, and I've been in the business 20 years. Right. And you hear it all the time as well.
Yeah.
So I think that is a habitual problem that I know you're trying to solve. So here's, I think, the biggest thing that I find loan officers, and I'll even put myself in this space. Okay. I can be very, very organized. I've learned to, as a high level manager, I had to learn to be able to sit still in meetings and so forth, right? And learn to operate off of reports. But the normal loan officer brain is not wired to, they know they need it, they know they want it, but there's a disconnect as soon as there is friction. And the friction, it could start as early as, hey, you have to jump on a discovery call, a setup call with my team to get your CRM set up, right? That's the first thing. But like a smart list, a simple smart list, they sit and watch your training video, I'm sure, and they look at that and go, oh, that's difficult. I don't understand the difference between a CSV Excel file versus a right? And so instead of spending the time, and this is where I hope if anybody is listening to this, they stop and listen to this right here. You have to spend the time and invest in your career right now, or you will be out of this business if you don't learn some of these simple things. I heard Gary Vaynerchuk, and I love Gary V. Recently, he was on stage. I saw a video of him saying, I found this amazing, he was telling the audience, I found this amazing tool that can help every one of you. And I'm going to give you the secret right now. And he goes, you ready? And he goes, write this down. Google. And he said, you can literally find anything you want to learn and train on. Okay. But he said, guys, he said, I'm speaking to those that are 45 and older. And he said, you got to learn this stuff. He said, you can't pay your niece to do it. You have to learn. And so I'm going to tell you what I'm trying to do myself. I think loan officers, as soon as it gets a little bit tough, their commitment level is not nearly as high as what they thought it was. And so then they then get distracted with the next shiny toy that, okay, well, I've got done by one, but now I'm going to go, oh, I see there's this automation online that says it'll do X and Y. Maybe I'll go buy that little automation. And they never stop to do what you're trying to teach them. And so if you're listening to this, I am imploring you. I have been saying for several years now, I feel like I am in the save a loan officer business, saving careers. And I think that's what you're doing, Danielle. But I think to just sum it down or dumb it down to a very basic statement, loan officers can be lazy when it comes to learning additional skills. And I'm not talking loan products. I'm talking skills that are going to keep them in the business. And this is one of them. If they do not have a CRM, and just a CRM is not enough, guys. That old saying, and you may agree or disagree, just the old saying of whatever CRM you use is the best one, that's BS. That's not the truth. Your CRM done by one can do so many amazing things for you, and they're the things you need to be doing to grow your business and stay relative and in front of your clients and future referral partners. And if you're not, you're going to get pushed to the side, is how I feel.
Absolutely. I agree. And the biggest thing is in the beginning, it's the setup. Once you get it set up, and this is what they don't realize, it's a set it and forget it thing. I'm watching emails going to my past clients. That's another thing that most people close the deal and never follow up with their past clients. They don't realize that there's so much gold in their database, right? And just keeping in touch with them. I had a past client yesterday who sent me an email and said, I worked with you in 2019. You were amazing to work with. I'm going to sell my house after the first of the year. Here's what I'm going on, financially or whatever. And I want to work with you again. And so I have a call with him this afternoon. But guess what? If I was not following up with him through my email marketing campaigns, my quarterly database outreach to my past clients, he probably wouldn't have even had my phone number. Right. And so because I'm staying top of mind, now when someone's looking to sell or buy or refi or whatever, I'm there. But 2019 was a long time ago.
Absolutely. But, I saw a statistic recently. It was somewhere around 74% of consumers said that they would use their real estate agent and or loan officer again, right? Because they had overall a favorable experience, but they don't. those that same audience said that the majority of them don't really remember who their realtor and or loan officer is, and that's scary. We need to do a better job, Danielle, right? I mean, that just getting by is not good enough anymore,
Right.
right? And
Exactly.
with technology, again, I'm not worried that AI is going to put me out of business. What I am worried about is if I don't keep up and continue to be a lifelong learner, people like you will put me out of business because you're utilizing, AI is like the turbocharger. It's not the engine, it's the turbocharger, and all the technology to enhance your business and move at a faster pace, stay in touch. Those are the things. So it isn't just those tools, it's the people that are implementing them that will and can put you out of business if you don't figure this out. But here's the cool thing. There's still time for people to figure this out and do it the right way.
Uh,
I just think that loan officers, and I think we're an interesting group because I get to work with entrepreneurs as well. Entrepreneurs and other businesses, they'll invest in, let's say, a CRM when I'm working with them, and they learn it and they implement it. And I don't know if it's, maybe us as loan officers, maybe we have a double dose of kind of that movie, Meet the Fockers. Maybe we have a double dose of Fockers and the ADHD runs high. But we just don't seem to have,
like a different breed.
yeah.
No, but I think what it is what and same with real estate agents. I see it with title agents. Here's the thing. If you are 1099, you are, even if you're a W-2 and you're on straight commission, you're self-employed. We might work for Nexa Mortgage, right? But this is our own business. And the problem with realtors and the problem with loan officers is they don't look at it like that. They still come from an employee mindset. They're not looking at this like they're running their own business, that they can literally pick up and move somewhere else if they wanted to, right? So the Brown Mortgage Group or, Grow Funding Group that I'm with Nexa, right? These are our businesses. So you have to get out of that employee mindset and step into the mindset of a CEO. And that's why a lot of other entrepreneurs invest in this stuff because they look at it like they're building a business where these most people are looking at it more as a transaction and not as an actual I'm building my business.
Mm, yeah, you hit it on the head. I think you're right. And so how do we get people in our industry to really understand, and again, the top 10% get it, right? The top 5 to 10%. But how do we get those others to stop thinking transactionally, to stop waking up every morning and going, I'm going to go see if I can find a deal today instead of waking up and knowing exactly what they're going to do and having a plan. You mentioned, treating your business like a CEO day. Every Friday morning on my calendar, I have something that says 8:30 a.m. Okay, on Friday morning because I don't have a loan officer huddle. It's 30 minutes CEO day evaluation.
I love that.
That's my time every Friday morning, uninterrupted to I may sit here with a cup of coffee in my chair behind me, but it's my opportunity to look through some analytics about my business and just do a review. And how many people are doing something similar to that where they're actually treating it like a business, looking at their books to see how many leads came in, how many conversions, how many dollars did they bring in? Because you hit it on the head. Loan officers are not treating it like a business. And let's face it, we're in a business where you can make a very, very favorable income for you and your family and change lives, but they don't treat it that way. They treat it like a 9 to 5 sometimes, and
Exactly.
that's sad. They're missing the
And it's hard
opportunity.
also because you don't have that person standing over your head saying, you need to wake up at this time and be to work at this time. And so you do need a lot of self accountability as well. So, well, anyways, I think that the other main thing is, anybody that is looking to grow. I mean, I invest in coaching. I have a personal coach. I'm in Billie Jean's marketing uh course, so I pay for that. I'm sure you have mentors and coaches and you are a coach. So if anybody out there is wanting to learn how to, have that accountability and grow their business, as with that CEO mindset, then Dave Brown's coaching program with Impact Training is where to find it. So,
Yeah, I appreciate that. Danielle, in closing on my end, just like you, I invest literally tens of thousands of dollars a year in myself, right?
yeah,
From John Maxwell to other coaches. Just last year, I spent $7,500 to work with one coach for 6 weeks. And you know what? I did that for one skill set. I spent 7,500 for 6 weeks to work with this person for the purpose of helping me tell stories better. Not fictitious stories, but things that go on in my life, right? The day in the life of and experiences. But he helped me pull things out in a different way to be able to tell my story. And I spent 7,500 just for one enhancement of a skill. And so you're doing the same. I know Billie Jean runs a great program. How many of our listeners are investing in themselves like that and taking it serious? Or do they expect the company, again,
right.
if it's Nexa and you're listening to this, you should be spending your own money as well, not just dollars that you have, that you've earned at a marketing ledger. You need to spend and invest in yourself. That's a true professional. If you want to be in that top 10 to 20%, they invest in themselves regularly.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you coming on. This was great conversations. I'm sure that we've helped, a lot of people and maybe seeing things differently or what they can implement in their business to really grow and scale. So thank you, Dave. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Any final remarks?
No, I would say, guys, if you need a CRM, one, you need one. Two, you need to be signing up for a demo with Danielle at Done by One. I've looked at it. I've looked under the hood. It is incredible. I'm telling you, I'm not just saying that. I would word it differently if I didn't really believe that. It is a really good system, but you have to use it. And again, you got to use it. Trust her. She knows what she's doing. I want to thank you. It's been a great time. Happy birthday and happy holidays. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, happy holidays to you too. If today's episode opened your eyes to what's possible with AI and automation, here's the next step. At Done by One, we help entrepreneurs and sales professionals audit, automate, and implement AI into their business without the overwhelm. You can book a business audit to see where you need to implement AI and automation. Get set up with the Done by One CRM to run your business on autopilot, or take our AI courses to build your own AI tools and assistants. Do not wait until you're playing catch up. Head on over to Done by One at donebyone.ai and take action today, because the businesses that implement AI now are the ones that will win tomorrow. And remember, let's be done and be done by one.